What's up, everybody? Welcome to Clutch's Corner. Let's go ahead and break down the watch list and see what we're looking at. So I'm going to be looking at AMD tomorrow. We had this Royal Algo here. If it's purple trend line for me, it's Royal Algos. And we're staying above it. We typically do like to stay above this as of recently. We had a little pop down here and then immediately shot back up above it. There wasn't even earnings there or anything. Whereas in before, we like to stay below it. Right, so we've switched. We've switched. Now it looks like we're trying to stay above it. So if we can stay above that, and this one in here that we like to stay above, then we could see a nice little pop on AMD tomorrow. With that being said, let's zoom in to see where price targets are coming from. First one's going to be right here off of this 2. And you can see that this one wicks through it, and even in the pre-market wicks through it as well. Then we have the high of the day. I had to zoom into the 5-minute because there is just so much range, which brought me to right here. And then because of the big gap between these two price targets here, I zoomed into the 1-minute to see where is another potential point that it could pivot from, right? And as we can see right in here, and if you throw a little, here you can see how it's really important even in the pre-market, this level. So glad that we have that marked out. AMD, I'm going to be looking at the 183 contract, or excuse me, the 185 contracts right in here. I love the price, love the delta. They expire the following day, so they're going to be inexpensive and have a nice volatile movement. And around $100 is pretty easy to control. So that is what I'm going to be looking at. Next is going to be BJ. BJ does have some close PTs. It does have a nice exhaustion here, especially off of the same area. All right, so then we have the failed 2 right in here. Oops. And I'm going to be looking at the 75. The 75 is what I'm going to be looking at. The 10-cent spreads, whenever you get it, just adjust this bad boy, like I've shown you in the past in our sessions. And when it comes to the price targets, unfortunately, we do got to just mark some things where things could pivot. Right in here is the first one. Right in here is the next one. And then the low of the day. I did go to the 5-minute because I wanted to see like what was going on. And as you can see, there's a lot of choppiness in here in this area. So that's why it's a bit more conservative when it comes to the price targets. One being right here off of this 3, that was in between these 2 spots. And then of course that low of the day, this one right in here where you can see all of this chops through it and is making a decision off of that area. So that is what I'm looking at for BJ. CLX is next with a massive fail too. Now this thing was just like, yeah, 2 up, just kidding, and then just shot all the way freaking down. So it looks like it definitely wants to keep that direction going. If it doesn't, we're able to catch it breaking entry. Then what I'm going to be looking at is the 150 strike price. Same thing here. Adjust your limit orders down when you're going to buy it in, when the spread is wider like this, and then when you're going to sell it, adjust it up. Right? Simple trick there that can get you a little bit more money. And the 30-minute time frame is where I started to look right here and the low of the day right in there. Now this is a classic case of just steps, right? We're just constantly working our way up, but because there is a big difference between entry and here and some choppiness all through this area, I wanted to go in a little bit more. So I went to the 5-minute and saw this pivot right here. We had a big old ferocious movement up, started coming down, hit right here, and then kept going up. So if we can pass this, which sucks, it is like 20 cents away, but you should still be fine. If you trade options, you can make some good money off of a 20-cent movement. With that being said, that is what I'm looking at for CLX tomorrow, the Cool Rocks Company. Mrna. Now this one I actually really like the setup for, right? Very much a bullish pin bar here. We're totally exhausted to the downside. Last time we've been exhausted here, we do pop up, right? So looking to see if we can do that again, especially over in this area, a massive pop up. Going into the option chain, 104 strike price is what I'm going to be suggesting for tomorrow. Love everything about this price, delta, spreads. Going into the 30-minute time frame, Right here off of this 3 is the first one. Right here off of this 2 is the second, and then the third being the high of this 3. However, I did zoom in to the 5-minute for this because it is the day after FOMC, so you want to be a little bit conservative if you can. And right in here is where that first PT is going to be coming from, where we didn't have the strength to even get up there. Then as soon as we did, we just ferociously sent past it. So when we come back to this spot again, the people that are the market movers are going to have a decision to make with that price. And I really like the way that this looks. Now, Roku has been, holy crap, so freaking sideways for so long. But if you're scalping it on these dailies, you're able to make a little bit of money on it. So we're going to go for that again tomorrow, with PT1 being the wick of this day. And then we're going to go beyond that into the 30-minute time frame. Remember, that first one is the high of the day. And then there is the high of this day. I did go to the 5. I'm going to be honest with you. I went to the 5. That's not every day we go to the 5, but went to the 5 and look. Definitely a PT here. Come on now. Wicking off of the exact same price. Definitely a PT there. And then going into the 5-minute time frame, we can see right here is the final one that I'm choosing. Technically, you could choose the weekly stop loss to be the final PT. And if that happens, then it would be a weekly 3, which could be amazing for you if you are in calls. And yeah, that's what I'm looking at for Roku. Roku is going to be the 66 strike price. That's what I'm suggesting. You're going to get in the money for sure if we keep pushing up to at least PT3. Spreads, I'm going to be honest, I don't love these spreads, but you can obviously adjust things when you're going to buy your order and get filled for a better price. And then when you're going to go sell for a better price. So I do like Roku for tomorrow. After that, PFE. Now, PFE is what I'm actually really looking at. And the strike price that I'm suggesting is the 27.50. I am suggesting to buy this in the money because you're going to have a whopping bigger delta than you would if you got it really cheap for 11 bucks or whatever it may be when it crosses entry. So I am suggesting to buy this one in the money. It won't cost that much, and it will make you a lot if it pushes in your favor. With that being said, going to the 30 minutos. We see first PTs right in here. Second PTs right in here, where all of this is chopping through. Third PT, where it's the swing high. Fourth PT, fifth PT, right in here, all this choppiness. Fifth PT right in there. And I think that that could be like the most amount of range that it moves. However, if you are at the 27.50 and we tick up one more and we get all the way to the final PT and 28 is now in the money, you are going to be sitting very pretty on your contracts. After that is Neo. Neo, I'm going to suggest the $5 strike price. Okay, the 5 strike price. Not the super, super cheap one. I want you to be able to make some money, and a 77 delta is going to make you way more than a 15 delta. Okay, so this is one of those times that it's like, hey, buy in the money and you'll make a lot more. With that being said, going to the 30-minute time frame. First PT is going to be right off of here, where we were pushing up and then immediately hit a wall and stop. We did end up breaking it. And if we do break this again, then we'll test the top of this candle where all of it had trouble staying past. And it even became very relevant in the pre-market the next day. After that, humongous gap. I went to the 1 minute. I went to the 1 minute because I wanted to see where these pivots are going to be coming from. Top of this one right here, we're coming down, kind of sideways, and then keep going. So right here, top of this 2 right in here, as you can see right in here, we start kind of getting a little choppy, switching directions. Top of this 2 right in here, where all of this starts going sideways, and then of course the high of the day. So Neo looks fantastic. I actually really like it, especially with the fact that like it has such large movement, and then today just like didn't move, just didn't go anywhere, and we don't even like being down here first of all. So I like the way that it looks. Oh, one more. And the last one that I'm looking at for tomorrow is Wells Fargo. Now, Wells Fargo has the 3 failed 2, so it's setting up a 3-2-2 reversal or a ref strat. Broad information here, we're staying above it. On information here, we're wicking off of it. So it could be that we want to come test out this high right over here off of the top of this broadening formation off of that failed 2. That being said, I suggest the 58 strike price. You could get the 57, but I don't know, something about the 28 sits well with me. It sits well with me at 28 delta over a 63. Remember, the other ones we were looking at were 70 versus 11, 70 versus 17. 17 doesn't sit well with me. 28 sits a little bit better for me. So you can get this one out of the money, and you might not get in the money, but you will have some nice intrinsic value built along the way. The 30 minutos. Right here off of this 2, because good golly, Miss Molly, we are sideways all through this. Then the top of here, and finally we're reaching the top of that algorithm. Top of this failed 2, where all of this has trouble getting above it. Same thing here, same thing here. Top of this 2, where even in the post market we had trouble, and then the high of this candle right in here, which is wicking off of broad information, which is the top of that daily 3, where all 3s typically have an algorithm on both sides. So that is everything I'm looking at tomorrow for the watch list. God bless everybody. I hope you have a great day. Every single thing hit on the watch list today. I think like 5 or 6 plays took out every single price target that was given. So hope you're able to capitalize on that if it happens again tomorrow. God bless. We'll see you soon.